Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to learn chapter We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together, which is collectively written by Gordon Cook and Alan East. Before we move into the story, it becomes imperative to tell you about the life and journey of Captain James Cook. Captain James Cook was born on 7th November 1728 and he died on 14th February 1779. He was a British explorer, navigator, and cartographer. Cartographer means the one who makes maps. Okay. He procured rank of captain in Royal Navy. Here in this world map you can see the journey of Captain James Cook. Here we are not going to learn about Captain James Cook, but the story is related to him. Therefore we are going to learn few details about this personality. Red line shows the journey, which is first part of his journey, okay, which is in red ink. Second journey is shown by green ink. Third journey in blue. And this is the route which narrator of the story along with his family wanted to cover once again. But in the mid of the journey, Captain James Cook died because of some incident. Therefore, his crew members had to cover the journey alone. This journey is shown with dash out here. Okay. Let's move towards the introduction of the story. It is a vivid account of an adventurous voyage into the sea. It focuses on the value of living and sinking together. Collective efforts can make our life easy and our risks easily surmountable. Death cannot intimidate us if we put our heads and hearts together to face it. Here, let's move towards the characters in the story. The characters in the story are very few. This is the family along with crew members who started the journey. Okay, who wanted to duplicate or copy the journey which is made by Captain James Cook 200 years ago. Characters in the story: narrator, then wife, Jonathan, Suzanne, American Larry Wiesel, and Swiss Herb Segler. These two were crewmen for the journey, and these four members were from one family. Okay, and for this journey they had made lots of preparations. First of all, they made a boat which was strong enough to face the obstacles in the journey, and they were mentally and physically prepared for the voyage, and they understood that in the journey they are going to encounter lots of problems, and the remedies were also there with them for the normal obstacles. Let's move ahead. Narrator. Narrator, a man of great courage, commitment, and conviction. He proved to be the best captain as well as the best father, with indomitable grit and determination. Next character in the story is Mary. She is wife of the narrator. She always stood by her husband's side in all times of difficulty and consider his dreams as her own. Suzanne, daughter of Mary and the narrator. She was a brave girl. Her bravery toughened her father's resolve to fight the sea's strong storm, tooth and nail. Next character is Jonathan. He shows bravery and fearlessness in the face of death, highlights his character. He rejuvenates the hope of his father by remarking, "We are not afraid to die if we can all be together." Here there is a spelling mistake. I apologize for that, students. Next character is Larry Wiesel and Herb Segler. Both of them showed team spirit. Collectively, they both with the giant sea waves. They fought with the giant sea waves. They did not give up even though they had to make numerous temporary arrangements with just makeshifts. Very important. Let's talk about the theme of the story. Here, in the story we find determination and hope surmounts all the obstacles of life. If somebody is determined to face the obstacle with head and heart, then it is not going to be intimidating the person anymore. Next is family values of togetherness and cooperation. In a family or in institution, if everybody is together, then we can find out solution to the same. But if we are segregated and if we are fragmented, then there won't be strength. We know that unity is a strength. It is because when we are together, we can plan out something. We can plan out and escape from the problems that we are facing. Okay, and this also requires team spirit, and all these three points we see in this story. Now we will move towards this story, but before that, it is very crucial to understand different parts of a ship. So let's move ahead. Students, you can see a picture of a ship out here. Here, main mast is the pole. Okay, main mast is the pole which makes the boat still on the sea. Okay, it supports entire boat, and this is connected with the keel at the bottom of the ship. Okay, keel and the mast supports the entire boat and it sails in the water properly. Next is mainsail, the huge canvas which is fashioned with the help of mast. Okay, is mainsail. Okay, it is a huge cloth which shows the direction of the wind. Next is zib. Zib is miniature of mainsail. In the picture it is shown a bit large. I did not find another picture, therefore I had to take help of this. Here jib's size is just this much. Okay, it is triangular in shape just like mainsail, but the size is small. If they don't require wind to move the ship forward, at that time they use small zib rather than mainsail, which is huge in size and shape. Next is boom. Next is boom. Okay, here we can see a beam out here. Okay, with which this entire sail is tied. Okay, with the help of boom and main mast, this mainsail is tied. This is here. Okay, that portion is called boom. Next comes cockpit. Here the controller of the ship sits and with the help of steering he moves the ship ahead. Next is deck. Okay, this upper portion of the sea where one can stand, okay, and see the beauty of the sea. This portion is called deck. Okay, here we can stand and very securely because you will find railings out here. You can see out here also. All right, here you can see railings. Okay, with the help of railings we become secure and we can view the entire beauty of sea standing on the deck portion. Okay, Next is bow. The front part of the boat is called bow, and back portion of the boat or ship is called stern. Okay. Next is hull. Hull is entire body of the boat. Okay, that side also and here as well. Entire this body is called hull. Next comes rudder. Rudder shows the direction. Okay. Now we will move towards this story. Listen carefully. Afraid to die? If we can all be together. Tells about the extreme bravery and skill exhibited by Gordon Cook. Gordon Cook's family and crewmen in a war with water and the waves for existence. In the month of July in the year 1976, the writer, his wife Mary, his son Jonathan, and his daughter Suzanne set sail from Plymouth in England to duplicate the round the world journey made 200 years ago by Captain James Cook. They took the trip in their professionally designed ship named the Wave Walker, accompanied by two sailors, Larry Wiesel, who was an American, and Herb Sigler, a Swiss, to tackle one of the world's coarsest seas.
The Southern Indian Ocean. The first portion of the journey, that is about 1,05,000 kilometers up to Cape Town, passed off very enjoyably. On the second day out of Cape Town, they started to encounter strong windstorms. Windstorms did not worry the narrator because he was ready physically and mentally for this. But the height of the waves was alarming. Up to 15 meters above that, it was as high as the mainmast. On the 25th of December, the writer's ship reaches in the Southern Indian Ocean. That was about 3,500 kilometers to the east of Cape Town. The family welcomed the new year on the ship. By doing so, they wanted to cheer up themselves because they had faced lots of adverse situations in their journey so far. At the dawn of 2nd January, the waves were huge in size. Unfriendly weather and massive waves forced the sailors to slow the speed of the ship, drop the storm zip, and take various other precautions. The risk was so obvious that the sailors accomplished a life raft drill, attached the lifeline boats and the life jackets. Unexpectedly, at 6 p.m., a huge terrific explosion shook the wave walker and the writer was thrown overboard. The wave walker was about to overturn when another massive wave hit it, throwing it upright one more time. The writer was thrown back again on the deck, fortunately with the second wave. His head and ribs were smashed. Now he was touching the wall of the wave walker. In spite of a lot of injuries, the writer took charge of the situation and decided to handle it on his way. Larry and Herb started pumping out water from the ship. Because of damages, the water was gushing inside the ship from different sides. The narrator took hammer and canvas in order to block those gaps and sail to safer place. The author somehow managed to overcome the situation. He covered the canvas across the gaps to stop the water from entering into the ship. Moreover, their hand pumps stopped functioning and the electric pumps short-circuited at the same time. Luckily, the writer found a spare electric pump that was in a working condition. The entire night, everyone was pumping, steering, repairing, and sending radio signals for help. The author checked the charts and found that Isle Amsterdam, a French scientific base, was their last hope. Suzanne and Jonathan got heavily injured, but they were not afraid to die if they were all together. Sue's head got swelled and she was having a deep injury. Moreover, the writer became extra determined to see the courage of his children. Finally, they were able to touch the Isle Amsterdam. It was a volcanic island where 28 inhabitants were ready to receive them. To sum up, we are not afraid to die if we can all be together. We can see the collective power of unity and the never-failing confidence of the sailors made it possible for them to survive and come out from the jaws of death. There is a marked difference between the reaction of the adults and children. The adults Both were internally torn and worried. The narrator and his wife, Mary, felt that the end was near. They were pessimistic in their outlook, but both the children, Jonathan and Suzanne, though children, were optimistic. Jonathan told his father that they were not afraid to die. Sue drew caricatures to cheer up the parents and urged them to hope for the best. The parents wanted to console them in the face of the inevitable disaster, but the children kindled a ray of hope which activated the narrator to take up challenge and fight against all the odds. All of them exposed themselves to grave danger, but they showed a heroic spirit in facing and overcoming those dangers during their long voyage in the roughest sea in the world. The voyage brings home the idea that the brave can overcome any challenge in life. Men of courage and fortitude emerge victorious in all battles. Here, we can relate the quote which is in the play, William Shakespeare's play, Julius Caesar. Cowards die many times, while the brave test death but once.
We will conclude the story now. I hope it is candid, clear to everyone. If you have any queries, you can ask me. I wish you all the best for your examination. We will meet in our next video. Till then,